Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the SimSN Podcast, the show where I ask some of my favorite questions to some of your favorite people. And today I am delighted to talk shop with one of our newer NFL owners. Sir Guest, would you please introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, this is Dearden, long-time listener, first-time caller, if that's still a thing people say. Yeah, pleasure to be here.
So, are you completing this is your first season with Tennessee?
First season with Tennessee, second Sim NFL season, that's correct.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
what role did you have with Arizona when you were.
Arizona was the pleasure of being their head coach, and I
Okay.
say pleasure because that role came with like negative expectations, so it was all good.
Yeah, it's a little different now, though, isn't it? It's a little different when yours is the name at the top of the list.
You say that, I've been playing this whole season like it's house money, but it's something here, something there.
Good. Glad to hear that because it's yeah. I think you actually, on the one hand, you come into a pretty advantageous situation in that you're taking over a franchise that had, consistent ownership for a long time, and now you're picking it up. Um,
Mhm.
but it's also a franchise that has had four playoff appearances, so maybe a little more of a solid foundation, maybe than some people had to when they took ownership, depending on what came before. Um,
Right. Right. A bit of both, I think, but we can save that for longer topics conversation sort of thing. I mean, it was a lot of folks on there who had been, 4-year playoff vets, a lot of aging guys who were a little past their prime,
mhm.
getting there, and sometimes tough decisions have to be made. And personally, I'm one of those no attachment to whatever kind of guys. So some of
Yeah,
them found the door.
yeah. What was it in Moneyball? It's like, thank you, so and so's got your check, or so and so's going to take care of you. There's the door, kind of.
Yeah, you've been traded to the Phillies. Here's your check. Go the door. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Jeremy Giambi, or the actor playing Jeremy Giambi, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but
I watched it for I want to say I watched it for the first time last year. I think. I don't
what'd you
remember.
think?
Uh, I enjoyed it. It definitely it throws me for a loop at the end when it's like, it switches from a sports movie to. I mean, I guess it's still a sports movie, but more of that ethereal. Like, how does it make you feel? Like, don't you get emotional about baseball?
Right.
It uses the number crunching to then flip the script and be like, pun not intended, um, to kind of break down baseball, but then it kind of re-romanticizes it in the end with him finally going to watch the games and stuff like that.
Right. And wh- how does it feel watching it? Because I don't know your baseball background. How does it feel watching it a year ago, so 2024, 25, when you find out he stays with the Athletics,
Mm.
doesn't go to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Boston does really well. The Athletics still stink, and now we find out, oh, the Athletics were a terribly run organization, as if we didn't know that already,
Yeah.
and they're sucking the life out of a whole city and its baseball fans.
Well, I don't know that full story because I don't know that much about baseball. Um, although I did live in Boston during those World Series,
Okay.
so I picked up a little bit of osmosis from that. Um, yeah, I was a freshman in college. I had been living in
Nice.
Boston. I moved from Ohio to Boston to go to school. I lived there for 6 weeks when they broke the curse. So it was a hell of an introduction to campus life. Um, Living right off of Beacon Street when that happened.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So if you were a freshman, and that would have been, so you got both World Series then.
like, yeah,
So that's what, 04, 07?
freshman and senior year. Yeah.
They should have just paid you to stay around.
You want to know what's even crazier?
City of Boston.
You want to know what's even crazier?
Go ahead.
2013. I'm married. Boston is too expensive for my wife and I to do everything we want to do. We decide to move to Ohio, back to Ohio for me.
Okay.
The last night, all our stuff has been packed. It's with movers. We are in a hotel in October 2013, waiting for our flight the next day, and the Red
Oh my
Sox win the
gosh.
World Series.
This is going to resurface on some Boston fandom website in about 10 years when the Red Sox have still not won the World Series, and someone's going to petition for you to move back.
I'm telling you, it.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, six.
It's going to happen.
6 weeks. 6 weeks in Boston.
6 weeks,
when
and then
they,
the last day.
when they broke
Oh
the
my
curse,
gosh.
which depending on who you ask, they broke the curse when they came back against the Yankees from 3-0 down,
Right.
and then swept the Cards. Yeah, and then another my senior year, and then the day we were flying out to permanently leave Boston behind after 9 years, they won it again.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it,
make you romantic about baseball?
right? How?
It does. Yeah.
Oh,
Sim
that's
MLB when? Sim MLB when?
damn it, Alex.
Stares at the camera. I'm just kidding.
But
Um,
in reality, but it is, as my love of football has waxed and waned depending on a lot of
mhm,
real life things.
right.
No, that's why you love the idea of sport, because it gives you, you know, stories. So that's why I like the sim, is because you get the idea of the sport, you get all the theory and all the fun, plus the direct control which you want, and then none of all the other baggage that comes with it that makes it complicated.
Yeah,
Um,
complicated. I mean, the drama that's there too, that gets manufactured or is otherwise produced, is also very fun
mhm.
in the sim. So it really touches everything except for the lesser fun parts of sports, which is the athlete misconduct.
Yeah.
Which, although I think Mark Koch had a few of that back in the day, that was publicized, right, by Sweezy,
Oh,
underage drinking citations, if I'm remembering correctly,
something like that. Well,
something like that. And then,
I remember the first draft when with
oh, Big Howard, yeah.
yeah, when Howard didn't go in the first round, just melted down on Twitter.
Oh
Um,
Jesus!
yeah, that's
And look at him
really.
now.
And look at him now.
Look at him
Well,
now.
he got benched. No, I guess he's. Wait, it's so hard for me to keep track. No,
He
he's
is
still
riding the
benched.
bench. Yeah,
Asensio got unbenched because they took Rivera and then traded him. So
correct.
Asensio
To
got benched
Jacksonville.
and unbenched in Buffalo, but Howard is still benched in Jacksonville because now they're starting Rivera.
I also think, I don't know if Sensi was benched per se. I thought he was injured.
Was he?
Something. I
Oh, maybe.
think he might have been injured.
Okay.
It doesn't either way. He came off of the bench because Rivera got traded down to Jacksonville, and
Hmm.
Matt Howard is still sitting there with Julian Longacre. One hell of a
Oh,
bench.
yeah, that is
It's one
one of
hell
the
of a
most
bench.
dysfunctional QB rooms in the league. Because Rivera is
Yeah.
playing for like $2 million after his last season in Cleveland, where he was making
Yep.
20 to chuck
Yep.
like too many interceptions. Um, and yeah, and then there with Howard, and then with Longacre is got to be,
Yeah.
if those walls could talk.
And that's where I'm like, Tennessee, house money. I love Ricky, love Weeze, but it feels pretty good to still be in some sort of contention with them and that team and that salary cap that they have.
Mm.
When I've got, I think, an average age of 25 on both sides of the ball.
Wow. Yeah.
So, anyway, and a lot of money to play with.
Yeah.
Not that I am good enough at math to play with it very well, but that's an off-season problem.
Yeah. That's a future me problem.
It's not a current me problem. I'll just see if anybody from the college ranks is good at math and can do it for me.
Hey,
That's what assistants are for, right?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
that's what everybody's for. I'm all for
yeah.
bringing people over. Oh man.
Oh man.
So how I get we'll go all the way back then. How did you get involved with Sim Sports? Is this the first community you've joined, or what's kind of your history with our fun little niche hobby?
Yeah, I was gonna say we skipped a step there, jumped really in.
Yeah, and then
This
I
is my
started
first.
talking. I don't know why I was talking for so much of that. This is about you.
Oh, you're fine. This is my first Sim sport. It's been fantastic though. I think I joined would have been the 23-24 CFB off season,
Okay.
which I think was a fantastic time to join because I don't know how folks join mid season in the sense of there's so much to like absorb
Mm-hmm.
so quickly. I still remember, joining, chatting in the Discord a little bit, picking a team, and then having, like a month or two or three to like actually deep dive the like new coach orientation on the forum, which I would recommend to anybody, even people who've been here for a year or two just to like go back and refresh her on, because there's some nuggets of knowledge in there that you totally forget sometimes.
Mm.
And did that, and it was awesome, and loved it, and picked up various new roles and such from there. So it's been a hell of a ride.
Awesome. And then, yeah, and then you and I don't know how to say the Texans owner, whose double I name I don't know how to pronounce. Maybe I'll get him on the
I
show and
Yeah, really
he
ask
can
him how
tell
to
me.
pronounce it.
Um,
Yeah.
um, yeah, but have joined with the Tennessee and Houston Texans respectively when we had a couple of openings opened up and jumped over. Um, so yeah, so I guess so far you've had mostly the coaching experience, which is fairly similar. You've got the same engine, and then you're gonna be going into I think your first off season because I feel like a lot of stuff when you took the team, a lot of like extensions and stuff kind of already been made. Like that setup was mostly in stone. I feel like.
Functionally, I remember there were a couple already, pretty large contracts set in stone. Wayne Reimer, one of those, who has been paid out and shown the door. Uh, just to call back that one. And a couple other folks that probably needed some extensions that I went, you're about 34,
Ugh.
probably not going to play much. Let's see what we can work with here. But it will be the first full off season with any sort of 10,000 foot view control.
Yeah.
So that will be something to experience for sure.
Awesome.
Got to really take a look and see what other folks are doing to kind of figure out what's going on. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah. um, well, always, as I said, everyone always, pop into mentor help or any place if you have questions. We love to answer questions there. Um,
Yeah.
so let's see. I had a thought, and then I talked before I made my thought, and my thought escaped me.
Do you hate it when that happens?
Always. Um, quarterback. How do you feel about your young quarterback and how he's been after being pushed into the starting job so far?
It's an interesting one. I don't think he's done any worse than Reimer had up to that point,
Mm-hmm.
because his big flaw, for lack of a better term, was just threw so many interceptions,
Yeah.
just so many. Like completion percentage was fine, wasn't anything to write home about. I think time he got the axe, he was 2 touchdowns for 12 interceptions in 11 weeks.
Wow.
I'm like, that's just not sustainable. Whatever way you put it. And I really liked Will Outman in the sense of 2024 was the first CFB season I did, watching plucky Georgia take down Big Bad Tennessee
Mm.
was something to see as someone who had no experience with the sim prior, but the whole community seemed to be up in celebration about that one. Um, so I was always like, okay, this guy seems kind of cool. I remember that draft going into the 2025 season, which I think K Wheel had one pick in the third round,
Mm.
picked Will Outman,
Yep.
refused to elaborate, and left, kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
he walked in, slammed it on the commissioner's table, and left, kind of thing. And it kind of like threw me off that he wasn't getting any sort of playing time. I think we experimented in the preseason and he looked not amazing, which come to look at it later was because he was just playing as a defense that was probably a little more geared towards stopping what we were trying to run
Mm-hmm.
in that game. So I was like, okay, maybe I've made the decision a little too quickly. Also, Wayne Reimer's contract is ludicrous for someone who will be turning 30. I need to figure this out, and our window is not right now. Let's
Mm.
just cut our losses, see what's going on. My only concern, and I think Sage talked about this when you guys spoke a couple weeks ago, is I'm personally not too hot on this quarterback class,
Mm.
including a quarterback of my own coaching that is up as a top prospect. Even according to Sage, I'm like, I am not that hot on this class.
Mm.
So it's really gonna be interesting to see how Will Outman progresses. if Brandon Alexander gets any playing time this season,
Hmm.
who is the QB2, I think he's from Central Michigan, seventh round pick from 2024, 23,
Okay.
sitting there about the same statistics
Hmm.
or sort of things. I'm like, okay, maybe he gets a shot. And then it's going to be seeing what sort of prospects we we get to see come draft time, because Boomer Bust could make anybody,
Yeah.
Boomer Bust could really make anybody the pick,
Mm-hmm.
as we saw last draft. Like Brandon Savage was the guy. He was the guy, he was the guy, he was the guy, and then suddenly he was not even the second guy, he was the third guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll all see.
Yeah. When Romero showed up and had perfect tens in his combine, I was like, oh, okay, something's happening. Um, Although I feel like I've said it before, that's what I felt like. As a kid, when like you don't understand all like the mechanical parts, you just see like the stats, and so you'd see college quarterbacks like Chris Winkie throws 70 touchdown passes, and
Right.
then some guy from Central Michigan is like the number one pick, and you're like I've never seen this
You're like,
guy
I
on
don't
the
get it.
highlight reel, and every scout was like, oh yeah, he's the best, he's going to be the best quarterback, and you're like, I don't. Well, how? Who?
You're like,
Why? Like
who? Yeah.
Ball
What's his
State?
name?
Where's Ball State? Is that? I thought that was a joke. Like,
What's a ball anyway? Yeah,
where
like, where are they?
is there a Ball U that like? Do they have a rivalry with Ball State?
University of Ball.
Right. They sound good.
next
Do they
next
have a
season.
quarterback?
Yeah. This guy's from Guam. They even have a football team.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but yeah, they're.
In 5 years' time, we're gonna go 1-1 from Guam.
Oh
Just,
my god.
just be ready.
Layers upon layers of unpredictability, and it's funny. I
Yeah.
think people. I think overall does lull people into kind of a false sense of security. Like because we do know objectively more about our prospects than like real life does. Like there are actual literal attributes that you can define, but still like
Right.
we've seen mid 60s guys pop off. We've seen high overall guys not do well, and obviously quarterback is really complicated because you've got to look at composition of teams. I'm still on Landrum's bandwagon even though he's thrown a ton of picks this year.
Yeah.
For example. But I feel like people get a false sense of like, no, 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 you know if a guy's good or not because you get his number, and I'm like, but there's a ton of unpredictability that still comes into it. Um,
There's there's also the hidden stuff. Like, I mean, clutch, right? That's
mm-hmm.
still in there that people don't really think about, even though I think the scouting tool kind of shows clutch in a way. It sort of
it,
does
it
with the yeah.
with
It
a big
doesn't give
enough
you a number, but it
no,
scatter
it, it
plots.
can it can show you the difference with a big enough sample
Hmm.
size. It can show you the difference in performance. Um, but yeah, you got
Yeah.
clutch, you got discipline, you got all kinds of stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Vibes are important.
Vibes. Oh, so that's another question I like to ask people. We're currently between like total, Moneyball, stat head, and pure vibes. Where do you fall, and is it different as a coach versus like as a GM?
Oh, jeez. I want to say that stats guide your hand, but you have to, at the end of the day, have like your own heart to heart decision on a player, whether that's in college or professional, and that's in any sport. Like football is just the easy one because that's the one we talk about the most. But I'm sure that smarter basketball minds will say the same thing, and same with hockey. I know that we have college and professional hockey. Shout out the draft coming up on Friday.
Mm.
But no, I think it's you can take a look at stats, and that should be something that's like, okay, maybe this guy could be something. But if like you said, someone can throw for 7,000 yards, and then you take a look at them, and it's like this guy looks terrible, or he doesn't look as good as I think he looks. Like you got to at some point have that sort of moment where you're like, oh yeah, okay, my heart's telling me X Y Z. Got to listen to it, even though the stats say this,
Mm-hmm.
and just go from there.
Yeah.
I don't know where do you fall in that camp? Because I mean,
Oh man, I I fall pretty far on the stat side. I always especially like during the draft, I just build some master sheet that has way too much data on it. Um, occasionally, in like later rounds, once you run out of points, you're kind of going off of a gut, off of a vibe. Um,
Hmm.
but I think I trend toward the number side. The old joke from Calvin and Hobbes: if the number goes up, it means you're having more fun. Um, so,
Oh, that's a good
um,
one. That's a good one.
though my so far my luck with finding random guards has not extended to outside linebacker. I've taken flyers on a few outside linebackers, and they've all been complete duds. Um,
Outside linebacker is just so difficult. I mean,
yeah.
linebacker in general, I think, is the bane of everyone's existence in the sim.
Well, any kind of off-ball linebacker is tough to judge. Like coverage guys, even middle
Yeah.
linebackers right now, at least with the way DTs are so tuned, even
Right.
linebackers aren't like the tackling machines that they usually are in the pros. Um, so, but yeah, off-ball linebackers are, especially the outside guys, are real hard to judge because if they don't get sacks, then you hope that they get like picks, I guess, as coverage guys. Um,
Yeah.
but mostly you don't get a lot of stats. Um, yeah, and then I put free safeties in that category too, because a lot of time they're just covering deep or double teaming guys. So if they're not ball hawks picking passes off, it's mostly tackles, and even then that's like, well, is that because everyone else gave up like a 15-yard run and you're the last guy?
Right.
Like, if it's not a tackle for loss, what is that? Did
Yeah. What does that
is it
actually
was it a deep run?
quantify?
Did you allow a
Allow a great
catch?
catch. Yeah.
I feel
Yeah, that's a
I
tough
felt that
one.
way voting with because like Sage put up all like the All American stuff.
Right.
Um, I felt that way with cornerbacks because I would like if guys were really close in like their passes defended, I would look at their tackles and be like, well, maybe if you have fewer
Oh, okay.
tackles,
Okay. Interesting.
you know,
Interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe some of those are outside runs or whatever, but like
True. Yeah. It's like, okay,
if you
your
defend the same,
tackles are higher because you're allowing the guy to catch the ball.
maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. That's
Um,
interesting to hear someone else's take on, because I'm sure everybody goes into that award voting, and even the voting in general, like Player of the Week, in such a different way. I
hmm,
mean, we see the scatter plots and everything every week,
yeah,
so yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's almost it's almost a game within itself for me. Like I have my vote, and then I try
Really.
to guess who else is going to get the votes. And sometimes you can see, oh yeah, one really big number like this person's going to get a lot of votes, and then sometimes I'm
Yeah.
completely surprised, where it's like I think I'm on the favorite, and then someone else is like beating him 5-1. Um,
I try not to look at the votes that have come in before I make my pick, just because I'm like, okay, I gotta see, just gotta launch it here on
hmm.
who I think should win, and then I look at it, I'm like, oh, I'm the only guy on this guy. Cool. I know nothing about ball. This is great. I just look foolish. Like anyway,
Yeah,
college sports.
college sports. Yeah, and I don't know enough about real life college to compare, but in pros it's interesting because I feel like we're at a situation where in aggregate we get to normal scores, normal games, kind of things like that. But then you look at the individual stats and just everything is just up. Like the best defenders get
Right.
huge turnovers, huge tackles for loss. The best passers get thousands of yards. So like everything's just a little bit more amplified.
Right.
And just more plays. I think there's like 180 to 200 plays a game, which seems high. But then
Something
because
like
there are
that.
also like lots of turnovers and lots of punts, it ends up kind of from a high level. You look at the scores, you're like, yeah, that seems like it gets
Yeah.
there, but in a way
21
where
to
kind of
14.
everyone's individual contribution is a little bit bigger.
Yeah. It's the 21 to 14, but with like 12 sacks on each side, and both teams have a defensive touchdown. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
make it make sense.
yeah.
Make it make
I
sense.
think I think last week, who was it? We had a team win with 4 interceptions, and then we had Washington win with 6 interceptions and 8 total
Oh, jeez.
turnovers, which
Yeah,
admittedly
that's
is an aberration. But
yeah,
um,
yeah.
and all I remember is that neither one of them were Philip Avila, and that's such a Philip Avila stat line to throw for like 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions and 600 yards and be like, I just put it up there. I just chucked it.
Yeah, just threw it up there. Yeah.
Yeah, was I don't remember.
I want to say,
Um,
was it Was it Minnesota? Did they have something? I remember seeing Cynic's box
Minnesota
score
threw
in
his
there, but
was crazy because
his
he
one has
threw
been really
65
impressive.
times and didn't throw a pick, and I remember being
Oh, okay.
astonished. I was like, like even Dean Hammonds can't throw that many times without making one mistake, and Christian Sinnock threw 65 times and didn't turn it over.
Right.
Okay, good for him.
It's gonna. It might have been Hammonds
It
then,
probably
because I'm
was.
I'm trying to think of who it was, and I was like, oh, they're doing their best Philip Avila impression. Like I remember that going into my mind, like, haha,
That sound.
they're
I think it
acting like
was.
another sim player, and I think it might have been because he's thrown very safely all season, so it was really off to see him throw like 4 picks or something. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's just one of those weeks. It's just one of those fun weeks where everything just explodes.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Ah,
we are reaching that point in the NFL where that middle class is
yeah.
expanding out, and the results it's hard to predict. I mean, we have our same cadre of good teams for one more year until cap and retirement completely blow them up. And we have some teams in the AFC that are struggling a bit. But in the middle, man,
Who could that be?
it is a bloodbath, and it is any given Sunday. I mean,
You know,
Ravens beat the Jets. Like, sure, what? Sure, why
yeah.
not?
And then you take a look at the stats of that game, and you're like, how did that happen?
They
Because I think it was Savage threw 3 picks. The Jets looked
the
really
Jets
good on
won
the stat line.
every single stat except field goals.
Yeah, it's just kickers, man, kickers. I think our most valuable player this season has
Yeah,
been our 31-year-old kicker.
yeah. Oh,
So it just goes to show.
I still give Kirby crap about upsetting the Dolphins last year for their only regular season loss when Chappa kicked 7 field goals. Um, it
Kickers are
just
people too.
yeah, of
They're
course.
people too. Yeah, pay
And
them, man.
thanks to some engine boost in the last offseason, they actually make most of their field goals now, which definitely
Can't kick. Yeah.
helps.
Oh gosh. I think at Arizona we had a guy who was, like he was not Mr. Relevant. He was the pick before because Bobo Sims was the good meme,
Hmm.
but he probably hit 30% of his field
Oh
goals last
God.
season. But he did nail a game winner. I think it was against Indy, 55 yards. Make it make sense. Like with time expiring kind of thing. And it's
Oh
like, okay,
God.
cool. Let's set that as your range. And then he missed every single one from that point on. It's like, okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
We're going for it on fourth down every single time now.
Yeah. I remember seeing some of the results from those test seasons, and Rocket being like, "Oh, did I overtune it? Are they too good?" I'm like, "No, please, God, no. Just kicker can finally kick. Please, just let us have this."
It's okay. Yeah.
Because
Oh
I don't
gosh.
want a punting situation where like every punter is like 50% within the 20. I'm still not sure how I feel
Right.
about punters being superhuman. But again, it's one of those things where the amplitude of everything is just a little bigger right now.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
with, if teams can pass for 600 yards, maybe it's okay that
Oh gosh.
the that punters
The
can
kicker
also
can make
kick for
some kicks
60.
and punters can, yeah. Oh gosh. Special teams rework. That'll be interesting to see how if and how that changes things.
Yeah.
So
ST
very
no longer
excited.
just being a stat dump or a snap dump for
Yeah.
people.
I'm not just saying that because I think we've given up 4 punt return touchdowns, 5 this
Seriously.
season. Well, Benedict to Luna was 2 in one game.
Oh God.
I think we had one this past week. We had one a couple weeks ago, and I'm just it's like, I can't even be mad. Like it's just the luck of the draw.
Mm.
It's
I think Philly had one like in each game against Washington, and I'm like, them's the them's the
them's the
breaks.
breaks. Yeah. Really is.
At least that one's really funny. At least I can
Yeah.
laugh at that. Leonard. Oh, it was against
Yeah.
I remember it was against the Jets when they won that mirror when the Jets like had a
Oh, that's
final second touchdown, and then Leonard Vaughn just took it to the house the other way. It's like I don't know, man. Sure, that happens.
yeah. It's football.
You
Yeah.
know,
It's football.
somebody rolls a nat 20, and you're like sure, that just happens. I guess whatever you just said. Um,
Yeah.
So,
And then he's got turf toe and he's out for 4 weeks.
oh God, yeah. Or poor, was it poor Kareem James, who
Oh gosh, just broke
broke
his
his
back, right?
back? That's not good for those.
No. Your back's not supposed to break like that. Not, was
I
it
don't think
12 weeks or
that's
something?
yeah,
Or it was?
long enough that it's gonna hurt his prime age. I know that. I know that that's a thing.
Yeah, that's not good. I can't remember exactly how, but it was double digits and it was
It
significant.
was bad. Which
Yeah.
again, if you would expect to, yeah, that
If you actually
follows.
broke your back, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, it's nice. Oh, so here's a fun story about that. My mom recently watched an episode of the Sim NFL show because I've been telling her about my hobby. Hi, mom. And she asked me the other last time I went to visit. She goes, "I just have a question." I'm like, "Sure." What's and we apropos of nothing, so I don't know what she's gonna say. And she goes, "How does a simulated player get injured?" It's like what? In the same way that they
Uh,
run for a touchdown, that something
yeah.
spits out a number and it tells you. But I got a chuckle out of that. How does a simulated player get injured? I'm like, well,
The code just takes a pipe out and just, yeah,
same way they
just
do
gives you
anything
what
else, I
for.
suppose.
Yeah.
Um, so I have a notepad. It's completely empty. I have not written anything this entire time. Um,
I had a notepad. It's also empty. It's right there. Yeah.
we're doing great. We're doing great.
I had some stuff on there, but not things we've talked about, just things to potentially talk about.
Okay.
If you, yeah. So I don't think we talked about college football as much,
Mm-hmm.
and especially with Indiana in the Big Ten playoff.
Yeah. Fourth seed
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
My
So
game plan is in, and we're gonna see what happens. I don't have high hopes against Penn State, but
they're just such a buzzsaw. They're such a buzzsaw.
my when I was doing my college football rankings at the beginning of the season, like the the 50th, the 50th best player in college football is like sixth on their roster. It's infuriating. Just like
I I
or doing
I
my mock
still
draft. I'm
remember.
like Penn State.
I
Yep, from Penn State. Penn State. Sure, take that guy from Penn State. Sure.
I remember going through it and being like, "Am I making a mistake? Like they can't have another player so soon." And I went, "No, that is the best player for this team. They're just that good."
Yeah.
And then it was, it was them. It was, you had your Tennessees, you had your Tulanes, and all. And I think we were regurgitating the same conversation you had with Sage a couple weeks ago. It's like these teams are just that good.
Yeah.
The Utahs, I know he didn't want to talk about himself, but there are a couple Utah picks in there
Mm-hmm.
almost in a row.
Yeah.
Makes you envious, but what can you do?
Yeah. And
Besides recruit better, I guess.
yeah, and I'm off the back of two incredible recruiting classes and uh, eyeing a different team if it opens up. So I'd have to start all over.
Ohio State.
Yeah,
We allowed to say that out loud?
I don't know. I'm gonna say it. If you haven't come on Discord in a year, I think I'm allowed to talk about it. Um,
Yeah.
there's no Sim FCC, so
Yeah.
but I've talked to Sub about it, and I was like, hey, if it comes up, I'm probably gonna put my name in because that would be fun just to get a real life connection in there, a real life team I root for would be a lot of fun. Not that I've
Yeah.
disliked my time in Indiana. Also, it does take the pressure off me because so far I'm a much better recruiter than I'm a coach. So, because this was like the year that Indiana was supposed to break through, and we did not.
Right.
Not that we had a bad season, but I don't know how to pass the ball. So like, this is
I don't
like
think
giving
anybody knows how to
myself a
pass
few
the
more
ball.
years to figure that out as I start from the bottom again and rebuild up.
Okay. That's fair.
If
I
it
would say I
happens.
I was so apprehensive about passing the ball this season because I had only really had strong runners,
Mm-hmm.
and then Tavon Bennett is bad, so I was forced to throw the ball with Leathersitch, who everyone had clowned on for the entirety of my sim career, and I was like, oh god, I don't want to do that, and he's turned out okay. So
Yeah.
it just comes in. Yeah, it just comes in waves, I guess. But I will say one thing: I'm not going to take your own conclusion that you're a bad coach because I still remember my first sim game was against you,
Really?
and we had a chat afterwards. Yeah, it was App State. It was Indiana at App State,
That's
week
right.
one, 2024,
It
and I
was.
remember being like, "Hey, great game. Any tips?" And you gave me this laundry list of fantastic advice, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I've used all of that ever since. So full circle moment.
Oh,
I think you were like, "Yeah, that offensive lineman, just chuck him out of the depth chart. He can't run block." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, of course. Use this other guy instead. If that's what I'm okay, cool." So I'm not going to have any of that on your own show where you say you're a bad coach. Having none of it.
well,
But
thank you.
I will say one thing, because I know we talked about Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we did a feature on something I want to bring back, which is chatting about coaches and their pathways and stuff, to make another homage, if you were to leave Indiana, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who would you want to take over?
Ooh, man.
Any sim coach, past
Oh,
or present. We'll leave that door open because I'm curious.
oh, man. Oh, I don't. Hmm.
And this is where we cut the commercial and just
Right.
go into something else. Yeah.
I mean, okay, so I have what's his name? Ruben Taggart is the he'll be a redshirt freshman next year, the redshirt freshman pocket quarterback
Yeah.
that I was planning to switch because I switched defenses to multiple, which I've really liked. I've liked being able to mix that up. And just two gap is weak to too many common schemes like pistol and
Right. Right.
so I was thinking about switching to vertical, going.
Oh, okay.
So I've been recruiting a lot of wide receivers, and I have Taggart, who I think boomed after I got him because I think he was a 4 star, but then became a B overall as a true freshman.
Okay.
And then Ferguson and Horton, my 1-2 young freshman running backs, have turned out really well.
They have.
So man, I'm clearly just stalling at this point.
No, you're
Um,
fine.
I don't know. I'm thinking who has run a passing offense as who I'm like who
Yeah, I'm
else?
trying to go through the Rolodex in my head, and I'm like, would that person do it? Would that person move? And I'm like, the person I can think of probably won't because it seems like they might leave their program,
Mm,
but they're very set on another program,
mm.
and that's Kirby.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be spicy.
That'd be
Still
very
in the Big
spicy.
Ten, still in red.
I
Kirby, make it happen. Not
I
just because I'm tired of losing to you.
I I do say I am hoping they get a coach because again you've got several you know very very good recruiting classes from last year and this year coming in. That's a solid foundation. Um, I I mean I'm losing some of my best linemen in the next couple of years, um, but some really solid skill players, a promising young quarterback. Um, and schemes that are I think interesting enough that you can kind of play with them. That there's not like a defined like you just do like multiple is fun because like oh do I put both my defensive tackles? Do I
Yeah.
put both my interior linemen? Who do I which outside linebacker do I put in the line of scrimmage? Because you can do either one. So if you got pass rushers, you can really move them around. So I
I
hope
think that
if I end up moving, I hope Indiana gets a user coach because I think they're set up for success. They're no Penn State, but I think we've sneaked into the conference playoff both years as the 4 seed, with 8 win seasons. Um,
yeah.
so there's stuff there to work with. Um,
I'm just trying to think about who runs multiple.
but
Just because I'm thinking back to like the graph where it shows who
yeah,
runs what or how many teams do, and I'm not too sure. But like again, if you're running a passing offense, there's so many folks who run pistol, who run
yeah.
air raid vertical that I'm sure someone would jump at that.
I
solely
think
because
I'm trying to
of the
remember what
foundation.
multiple's weak against, and if it is air raid, that might be the one thing against it. Because two gap was
Uh,
bad against spread option and pistol, which is just awful.
yeah, yeah, that's just bad. Yeah,
I think multiple might be weak against air raid, which would be a negative. But that is the other thing. The other thing about jumping
multiple is weak.
programs is it gives you kind of a permission to kind of clear the
Hmm.
slate a bit. And after looking at Sage's analysis and be like, yeah, no one runs three gap, and no offenses
Oh,
run the things that are weak against. I'm like, yeah, let's go somewhere and just start over and start
just
recruiting
do
for,
it.
or not three gap,
3-man.
3-man front, yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah,
Multiple is weak against run and shoot and air raid.
air raid, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
run and shoot's not
Hmm.
common. Air raid is a
Air raid's
problem,
weak.
especially
Yeah.
when you can only put three cornerbacks on the field. There's no dime formations. It's only
Yeah.
that is the setback there, is that you can get just deep bombed out of existence.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, it's like, when's the simulation like just going to catch up to the formations? Because people are going to be
oh yeah,
saying, "Oh, if everyone's running 4-man, I should just just run wing T or something or
oh
whatever the
yeah,
hell it is." It's I would flex bone and the
hmm
wishbone because we've seen those schemes run people riot. I think it's Virginia who runs the flex bone or did
hmm
at one point to very high success because most of the ACC runs a 4-man or something like that.
yeah,
And watch, someone will make the switch to Ohio State and the entire Big Ten will be like, the I option at Utah is fantastic. Let's all run the I option, and it's like,
yeah,
great, back to square one.
yeah. Although that one I'm fine with, because that is how sports work. Is that something
Oh,
works,
I
everyone
love
does
it.
it, and then as long
The
as it's not
cycle
static, as
continues
long as you're
and
cycling
right.
through, it's like yeah. Um,
No, I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does make recruiting interesting when it's like, oh, this archetype is the flavor of the month, and then there's like one 5-star that comes out one year, and you just know that everyone's gonna dive on them.
Right.
Um,
I'm I'm really curious to see that cyclical action then have repercussions into the NFL a little more
mm,
because there's already big like position deficits at archetypes. Like I
hmm
know was it blocking tight end is
Yeah.
so thin, and it's like, well, guess what? Nobody runs a blocking tight end in college,
Mm,
so it's gonna keep being thin until, and then so on and so forth. Or
right.
what's the 3-man one? Nose tackle. So like, okay, we're not getting as many nose tackles. We're not getting as many,
hmm
just insert random. I think man coverage DBs were pretty thin for a while when you
Oh
look at
yeah.
all the pro rosters. It's like, oh, it's because everyone likes zone or ball hawks, and oh, it is a lot of fun. But it's like, okay, those cyclical conclusions and whatnot are just, oh,
Yeah.
it's insane.
I am. I'm very excited to see athletes coming up through college and what they will do
Oh my
in the
gosh,
pros, because that's going to be real fun.
yeah,
Especially, I mean, just the idea of athletes then getting secondary archetypes and defining how they develop, you know, moving up through the chain. But there is so much to, because that single position, has covers every other position.
right.
Um, there's just so much for that. I know Notre Dame is running an athlete at quarterback, so like kind of a
Oh
Cordell
yeah,
Stewart situation right there. Um, but yeah, I think that's going to be fun, because when some of those guys get a lot of snaps, in the 4 or 5 stars, you get a guy that booms, and then it's like this guy can play anywhere, um,
anything.
and the right coaches and GMs are going to love that.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think there are a couple, what, not 4 or 5 star athletes in addition to, I think it's Jackson at Notre Dame, that are coming
yeah,
through the pipeline either this year, this recruiting class, so coming up for next year, as well as that most recent class. And it's like, oh, this is going to be really interesting to see how folks utilize them. And
yeah,
I would be really interested to see how they impact the portal as well. Because
mm,
it's like you get an athlete in the portal, and you're going to get probably 4 or 5 times as many people fighting over them because they all have their individual vision of how they want to play that guy.
yeah,
And meanwhile, I'm just here slamming two stones together, like, recruiting. Hmm. Athlete. I'll put points on him because I'll use him somewhere at some point.
Yeah. I I haven't got any blue chips yet. I think I have
Ah,
4 athletes in this current cycle. Um,
wow.
yeah, just I'm just gonna collect. It's like Pokemon. I'm just gonna collect them all
Collect them all.
and
Yeah.
see what happens. I think the one I'm most excited for. I always get slot back and wing back confused. Slot back is on landscape. I have a slot back, so he's either can be either a wide receiver or a tight end, and he's 6'6". So I'm like, that's gotta be useful in like the red
That's
zone.
something.
Like that's just you get inside the 20 and it's just chuck something high, put him against a linebacker or a nickelback. That's
Yeah.
gotta pay off eventually.
I
Um,
think I got a slot back. Like, it's 6'6" last year, and he's redshirting now just to see what he can end up doing. But I'm like, oh yeah, that'll be interesting for sure.
yeah. Well, my high I did get an A minus potential, but he's a field general, so I know I'm like that one's tough because I feel like that could go a lot of different ways. 'Cause
Oh my
there's no
gosh.
crossover in those attributes. Like it's either this or that.
He's just really smart, guys.
I
He's our next coach.
I guess. Though with RPO on the rise, it certainly helps.
I
Um,
love RPO. I love it so much. I
yeah,
mean, that was what I fell back on so many times last year at Miami, solely because I looked at that team and I went, there's a lot of different ways you could go here. What's this field general look like? Oh, he's actually really smart, but can kind of throw the ball. Let's just do that. Let's just do that and see where that goes. So
yeah,
I think they're great.
yeah. And then we added this thing where like defensive IQ plays a factor, but I think in college is that there are just so many, you know, average IQ linebackers that I think it ended up probably helping the average offense more than it brought down like the premier or more than it improved the premier defenses. Like I
Right.
think
Oh,
we may
because
have
they're
just
also
accidentally
middle
made
of the
RPO
road.
even more effective for like 90% of teams. Um,
What I'm really curious to see, and I don't know if anybody's been super RPO heavy this year, but what I really wanted to find out last year and didn't have the guts to say it because I didn't want someone to try it on me was if you just focus RPO, there's only two on focus plays. It's choice and peak. If
oh
someone's
yeah.
running RPO half the time,
Mm,
what happens then? Like how neutered can they really get?
yeah.
And I always was like, man, is that why we've suddenly been really bad at RPO today? Like our
Mm,
offense just ground to a halt. Did someone just double focus 50% of our plays kind of thing? And I'm curious. I'm curious to see how that plays out. So if anybody's actually done that, please let us know because I
oh
want to
yeah.
know how that works.
That would be interesting to look at from a league perspective. Because I know I've said I think that's one of the things that made option can make option really effective.
Hmm.
Though I said that last year when every running back was getting like 7 yards a carry, so it was a bit
Oh
inflated.
gosh.
But with option, it helps. Like you see, now you have four.
Right.
It's hard to predict that. And some like is it inverted in speed? There are some that are complete inverts of each other intentionally.
Right.
So if you alternate
Do
them week and
both.
week or do both, yeah, you the success against one is failing against the other, or strength against one is weak against the other.
Right.
Um,
And if you've got it tailored, the what is it, the slider,
mm-hmm.
peak dive, which again, I have that Pierce explanation, just like screenshotted and tucked away, just so I don't have to keep looking and finding it every week. But it's like, yeah, if you're, stopping the quarterback on one, I think it's inverted. It's the complete other thing. So it's
Yeah,
like, okay, if you're playing Utah and they can run the inverted option and the speed option, it's like, oh great, which one am I gonna get? Am I stopping Holden or am I stopping Joe Lopez? Oh wait, I'm stopping neither because they're really good and
yeah,
it's disgustingly efficient. Crap.
yeah,
This is just pound the Utah drum show from me, but Sage earned it. So
yeah. Do you think Holden is gonna go like where he's been mocked, like super high, top five, first
I
quarterback?
think I think unless he busts, which I'm not going to speak that into existence. Where's the nearest piece of wood in this apartment? But I, I mean, I think he's got to be the Heisman winner, right? Like, he has to be.
Most
He
likely.
does both. He's the most outstanding athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Matt Van Roten's a fantastic rusher, should win the Doak Walker. I'm of the mind that the Davey O'Brien should go to the best passer,
Mm.
because that's what a quarterback does best. But I think Holden's just he runs efficiently. He's turned that corner this year with the passing
Mm-hmm.
to, I think he's completing 66% of his passes,
Wow.
which, not super much to write home about when you are like just saying that on face value. But I think some of our most efficient quarterbacks are passing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like EMS, 66.49% passing.
There it is.
That's all he does.
Yeah. There it is.
So, I think so long as he doesn't, have a really bad pro day, a really bad combine, yeah, I think he's going to go pretty high. That's just, he's on my list of outstanding prospects. Quarterback, Alcides Holden, Utah, right there, top of the list.
Yeah.
The only thing will be if the Eagles get him, what they will end up doing to the league.
Oh God, please.
I
I love Sage and Ace, but please
I
don't. Please
don't will that into existence.
don't.
Uh,
If
Like, I would love
if
that for
one
them.
if one pro team has to get their college quarterback, please let it be PMS and not Holden. I know K
I was
Green
gonna
has
say,
said he's not going to do or won't do a top 10. I don't know. I'll believe that when it doesn't happen. But
which did we all mock him to Arizona?
I I didn't, but I mocked him his own linebacker instead.
Okay,
I mocked him
'cause I think
Robles.
s-
And
I
then
think
that was
Sage
my
mocked
that was
him.
my whole bit about the pick was he's not going to take his
Oh,
own
that's right.
quarterback, so he takes his own linebacker instead.
Okay. Because I think both Sage and I mocked McCullers Sanders
I
to
mean,
him anyway.
I
Like,
see it. I
it just makes too
probably
much sense.
I probably would have had he not specifically said I'm not going to, but
I I mean, you can say whatever you want, but if he's still sitting there at whatever pick Arizona has, he's gonna have to, right?
I, depends on how he comes out.
I guess we're gonna see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
I
if you were Dick Richards, would you come back for senior year or would you declare early?
would absolutely declare early.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way I'm sitting and waiting another year, and I don't want Spoof to have to deal with the repercussions of that. But again, I think the quarterback class is not the greatest. I think it, in the nicest way possible, I think it starts and ends with Holden, in terms of like for sure, before we even get into the boom bust,
Mm-hmm.
it starts and ends with him. So if, compared to the next year's class, which looks a lot stronger,
Yeah.
I would just come out now. And not only that, he gets the age advantage
Mm-hmm.
of being someone like it's like he wasn't a red shirt. He gets the age advantage. Suddenly, he ends up being like, oh, maybe we just go for him because he's 22 instead of a 23-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
and I think his stock just rises if he declares now.
Yeah.
That's just me. What are you same boat?
Same boat. Absolutely.
Same
Preseason rankings, I had him as my top quarterback, even above Holden. Holden's been fantastic. I think, yeah, absolutely deserving of the Heisman. Could be the first quarterback taken, depending on what you're looking for. But if you're not looking for a scrambler, I think
Yeah.
you could do a lot worse than Dick Richards right now. To say nothing of camp or boom bust and then camp and all
Right,
that,
right.
as you say at age 22. I think. So we will see.
Wait with bated breath. Yeah.
There's a
Follow up to that,
Yeah.
if we still have time. Harder question, similar avenue.
yeah.
If you're Nick Morales, do you come out or do you stay one more year?
Morales receiver.
Wide receiver, California, 21, with BJ Flash the same age.
Uh huh.
So I'm sure those two could play off of each other. They are 1-2 right now. in total receiving yards. If you're him with 2,100 receiving yards as a 21-year-old.
I mean, the issue. I mean, your class.
Receiver, it's a lot better of a class.
What? I mean, you're also you're in the class though with Pogue
Mm-hmm.
and Flash, so
Right.
that's no cakewalk. But this year's class looks real deep
Really
too,
good.
and
Yeah.
Prochnow looks fantastic.
Yes.
So real life, who knows? For our sim, I would say stay,
Mm-hmm.
um, because there's such a depth at wide receiver, and there's such a need too. Like I could see four or
Right.
five even more getting taken in the first round, um, but I see that again cheating a bit because I know how our sim works, but
Right.
it's kind of like I think of it as like kind of like a round of Texas Hold'em. It's like, yeah, you might have the
Mhm.
best hole cards, but if everyone's in the pot, someone's going to catch a break and beat you. So like, if there are this many good receivers, someone's going to double bust and take off. Um, like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's my analogy for you. If you can't get everyone out before the flop, just
That's fair.
sit tight. Um, because yeah, Flash and Pogue are good, but Prochnow and Boutillier and
Mhm.
Hernandez are also all very good.
Very good. Yeah.
and
It's the
that's
sort of catch 22.
and that's just a few that I can remember off the top of my head.
Hmm.
Um, um, and I'm still holding out hope for my guy, Tyler Looney, who is probably going to get, buried at like 20th in the receiver rankings. Um, who, despite my best effort to feed him as many snaps as possible, even if his stats have not performed. Um,
What's
I
he
don't know.
looking at?
This is
600.
this is my first year of hoping to see an Indiana player get called early. Um,
Hmm.
Jeff Albuquerque was our biggest guy last time, a fourth round pick. Um, so between Looney and Doak, I'm hoping
Oh,
for a couple of um, maybe not first rounders, but I'm hoping for a couple of um,
early rounders.
early rounders. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Doak can go day one. I think center is
Offensive
not a
lineman.
super deep
Yeah.
class, and even though you have guards who will cross over, um, I don't know. I think Looney's probably going to get stuck in the middle of a good class, but I think Doak could show up. He's been an A since his true sophomore year. So
I was saying he's a straight through guy, right? So he's 21, going to be a
yeah,
22 into the draft. Okay.
yeah. I think he had A pass blocking as a true sophomore and A plus as a true junior. So that
Ooh.
number's got to be pretty high by this point.
Yeah. Pass blocking guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a surplus position too. So if someone really wants to go for it, like if they're only missing one lineman, it's like
I don't know.
grab
I don't
him,
know.
grab him,
Our
stash him.
our sim goes crazy for guards. So we love guards. We love paying guards absurd sums of money. Uh,
We do.
we we
We do.
love we love our guards. I don't know.
That screams. I'm just taking a look at it now. This screams like an early Dallas pick. With the way that Rocket just took, was it Callahan last
Mm-hmm.
year, and just stashed him. I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
I was like, let somebody who needs him let him play. Like, oh, I had him so high on my board, and I was like, okay, let's see. Like, if there's any chance I could trade up to get him, takes him at 10. I was like, all right, I'm tuned out for the rest of this round. I'm done.
Yeah.
Ah,
That was Vince Gresham for me when I wanted him in the middle of the round, and I heard people being like, I don't know, a lot of people like this guy, and then he went at 5, and I was like, oh, okay, I never had a chance. Good.
yeah.
That's actually better. I'm glad he
It
wasn't
makes me
taking
feel
one
better.
pick before. You know, it's not
Oh
like
yeah,
Baltimore beat me to him by one pick. It's like, oh well, yeah, everyone liked him. That's fine.
yeah. It's like I would much rather have that be like, oh, he's 30 picks ahead of me than right, but just get sniped at it. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh, if only I had, made the move to get 2 picks ahead, kind of
yeah.
thing. And
I'm
yeah,
I'm not a big draft day trader because I get so overwhelmed on draft day. I get so stressed out about everything.
yeah.
But I gotta say, we got two firsts this year,
Ooh,
and I don't know. It would be fun to make some waves if somebody at a position of need shows up big time. It'd be fun to make a move. Um,
he
Also,
watched.
a little birdie told me um,
Okay,
that with the new 2.0 draft room interface, we might be able to trade picks on the clock,
the clock. Oh
which could
my,
add a whole new level
it's a
of
game
drama.
changer. That is a game changer.
Yeah.
It will also make. Oh dear lord. I just pulled it up and my team needs category just is staring me in the face. Oh god. Oh
Though again,
I
if you have
te-
a very young
hey,
team,
anyway.
if you
It says team needs, you need a team. But either way.
but
Oh
but you
god.
see that in mocks a lot where it's like it can be really hard. Like the Chargers are a team that's really hard for me to mock
Right.
because they have so many really good young players who it's like, well, I don't want to spend a first on that position because they've got a guy who's gonna be a starter in a year or two. You know what I
In
mean?
like a
Like
year.
they've
Yeah.
got guys on track, so it's like, well, they don't really have a lot of needs in the sense that their window is gonna open and they're gonna have a bunch of good players to do it. Um,
I, I think they were the hardest, like the first hard team when I did my mock to actually mock for, because that's the same reason I was like, they've got all these guys waiting in the wings,
yeah.
or they've already pulled the trigger and they're starting someone who's young.
hmm
So,
my I don't think I had to use it this time, but my cheat code for that is just find a player that I think is highly rated and should have gone by that point, and just mock it to them, and be like,
you know,
I don't know if the Chargers are going to take
best
this
player
guy,
available.
but this guy should be gone by this point, so I'm just going to put it here.
That's fair.
So you're almost mocking the placement as much as you're mocking the team at that point. Um,
Right.
at least that's what I tell myself when it's midnight and I need to finish an article and I've been staring at it for too long. It's like just give him this guy and go home.
And then I look back at it the next morning. I go, "Why did I do that? Like that doesn't make any sense." Like,
Yeah, I did all my picks and was going to do the write up the next day, and then I looked at like the top five. I was like, this is trash. And I changed a bunch of stuff. So it's good that I did it that way because I then got to edit it. But the bad news is that it desperately needed the edit because there were some terrible choices. And at one point, I had a guy going like third overall who completely dropped out of the first round, and then I put him back in the middle. It was a whole thing.
the one that gets me is I'm like, wow, it's gonna be a really good fit. And then I look at his like actual measurables, and I'm like, dude's like a B minus in
Mm.
college. Is he really gonna be a first round talent? And then I've just got to convince myself and drink the Kool-Aid that no, he's actually pretty good, or no, you're being a moron. Just actually mock a person who should go here, and
Oh,
stop being clever.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I Stats are a really tricky thing for me when I'm draft planning because like obviously I've got my CFB rankings, I've got the combine and stuff. From that, I feel like I get a pretty good picture. Then you start scouting guys, but I never know what to do statistically because it's like if a guy breaks out but doesn't show up, is it because of the level he was playing against, or is there, as we said at the beginning, is there some kind of magic that this player has and that we believe he can replicate this? Is this a Nate Simeon who is like, oh yeah, he's a mid 60s cornerback, but no, he just catches everything. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
It's going to be really interesting when I think you brought it up too, is who pulls the trigger on that East Tennessee State fullback
Hmm.
and tries to convert him to the next RJ.
He's really good.
We just have no sample size of that. Again, it comes to the stats versus like what it says on paper because we've got no sample
Yeah.
size. Like it's like a negative sample size,
Yeah.
but on paper he's really good.
Yeah. You weren't. So you weren't here for the first draft with Andrew Richards.
No,
Okay. Same.
I was not.
Same situation. So everyone only had
Right.
a single year of college play, and Andrew Richards was like an A prospect, top receiver prospect who had been on an AI team, and he had like 10 catches. So it was a same thing. It was a complete unknown. It was like this guy should be good, but we have no idea if he's actually good.
Yeah.
Ended up going to the Raiders, and has become a decent wide receiver. Everyone in that first class kind of took a little while to come online. But yeah, I remember, yeah, just the AI weirdness of being like, yeah, I didn't use this guy. They did not play him. Like, I have no idea what happened, what code, what got messed up, or if he wasn't a good fit for the offense they got assigned. But he was their best receiver, and he just did not play, and then he got drafted anyway.
Oh wow.
Um,
I'm I'm really curious to see if past Holden, the two top draft eligible scramblers in terms of rushing yards are both FCS guys.
ooh,
If and when people pull the trigger
that's
on an
spicy.
FCS pick, because statistically speaking, both doing all right. Like not as good passers as Holden is, but they can sure run the ball. Is this something like people again? Are people going to take like a sixth round, seventh round flyer on a quarterback from Montana? Quarterback from like, are they? Is it
Mm,
going to happen? They're not
yeah,
going to have pro days. They're not going to have the combine.
yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. What was his name? Giving Ponce de Leon a combine invite,
Hmm.
and he was listed as a D plus, but he was listed as a quarterback, which he clearly wasn't.
Wasn't.
And
Yeah.
so I remember just being like, we're gonna make a special, like, I
Yeah.
wasn't even looking at guys, past like C. I mean, and he had like 2,000 rushing yards. It's like, okay,
Yeah. Here you go.
let's see what you got.
Throw him a bone.
And
Yeah.
he made a roster. That's all. I don't know. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
gotten to do much, but he made a team.
Yeah. That's always fun, just seeing how folks translate, and it's still relative in its infancy to see
Oh,
these guys fully develop. So
so new. Yeah,
yeah.
there are not a lot of Dakota Lynx who are game changers before their second contract, um, but that is going to change. Um, uh,
Yeah. I think this past quarterback class, well, these past two quarterback classes are going to be really interesting to see just how they go about. Because again, obviously they're both classes are still toddlers in NFL terms.
yeah,
So to see them all, I know you said you're big on Landrum. It's like just to see how they go,
yeah,
how they develop,
I
because it's never easy.
yeah. Interceptions are high across the sim. Landrum maybe doesn't have the elite weapons that some guys do. I do believe in him. Um, Anku has been doing decent for us in terms of not turning the ball over. We've been shifting around a lot of receivers to get young guys time, so that's a work in progress. But I think that whole offensive unit is all going to peak or is all going to grow at the same time. Um,
Yeah.
so I have high hopes. Romero has looked fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
He's looked very good at times and then fantastic at others.
Hmm.
Um, so
Yeah. I think you guys have something going in Cleveland with Anku. Like I still remember that pick coming in, and then I think the sort of stat card got dropped. Everyone's like, oh shit, that's really good for the second round. Oh
it's
no.
it's
Like,
it's I know. I try to be nice about it, but every so often I do want to be a dick when people are talking about getting your quarterback, and I'm like, just draft your franchise quarterback in the end of the second round. It's not hard.
yeah, just do that. It's super easy.
But I want people to enjoy The Sims, so I usually just shut up and move
Yeah,
on with my
that's
day. Um,
but
Also,
yeah.
we've lost almost as many as we won, so I don't know that I've quite earned that one quite yet.
It's it's such a crapshoot. I mean, that was the first. This past draft was the first one I did solely by myself and not without 20 something picks because I think that's what Arizona had
Oh
in
yeah,
2025.
the
So we were
ultimate just
just.
shotgun approach. Just
I think Kager and I were having the conversation. We're like, we really like this defensive end. We really like this other defensive end. What do we do?
take them both.
Porque no los dos, like in back-to-back picks.
Oh
We did that. I think it was the last pick of the first round, the first pick of the second round. We went, screw it, let's just get both of them. Like bang bang,
yeah.
and everyone was like, I thought I was safe when you grabbed a defensive end. I wanted that guy. You weren't gonna get another defense. Yeah. And then like four wide receivers. We drafted a whole new wide receiver core kind of thing. It's like, but going back to the original point of first season on my own, it's like a 50-50, maybe like a 40-60 hit to miss rate. And it's like
Mm.
it just is what it is. It
Which
is what
again
it
is
is.
probably about as good or better than you're going to get in real life. So
I'm just excited to have a first round pick. Didn't have that last year. Just got this, just sat there while everyone
I,
else was picking players, and I was like, okay, that's that guy off my board.
I
That
don't.
guy off my
I don't know
board.
how some of these teams do it. Like
Gone.
I get it. I get that the picks have turned into veterans who have won them games, and that's got to be fun. But man, I can't imagine sitting out the majority of every draft weekend. Like that is an experience
Yeah,
I would not trade for anything. Um, to each their own. But
yeah.
yeah, I
Right.
like making as much as I am a complete nervous wreck the entire day. I do I do like
It's a lot of fun.
making the pick. I don't
Yeah.
I don't know how guys on the draft broadcast can trade. Like Rocket would be like trade. I'm like, how did you like?
How'd you have the time?
I can't
You're
even
talking
be
the
on the
whole
draft
time.
broadcast when it's like 4 picks away from me because now I'm like in it. Now I've got tunnel vision
Yeah.
and I'm just praying my guy doesn't get taken. I'm trying to keep my sheet up to date. And guys are like covering, chatting, talking. I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, I just traded up and took this guy. You're like, how? How did you split?
I
Uh,
rewrote the draft book while we were talking. It's like, okay, cool. I'm glad you can. I'm glad your brain works that way. Mine does
uh,
not, kind of thing. It's
oh,
like
I
I'm just sitting here waiting.
God,
But it's a
I
great show. So
yeah.
hats off to those guys.
I need to make sure I get a draft book this year if they're able to make one. I didn't get one last year, and I do regret it. My 2024 copy is still on the shelf. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I've got to get one as well because I think I joined Arizona. I think a little too late for those to even be ordered. So I'm like, okay,
mhm.
just got to start collecting them now and just have them on a shelf somewhere
Yeah,
so I can go back in how many years and be like, oh yes, this pick was absolutely dog shit. Why did I do that? It said he was an A. It lied to me.
hmm
The draft book.
yeah. And Alex and Rocket,
Anyway,
anyone else listening, I'm happy to have it as a keepsake. I don't care when it comes out. I don't care if it comes out before the draft, after the draft. I could care less.
yeah,
Um, I just like I just like having it. Um,
agree,
to
agree.
to your point, I am excited. Um, I do like the idea of revisiting draft classes because we're always so big about draft grades, instant reactions. I like the idea of going back in 3 and 4 years and looking at them, but
Hmm.
those first two classes are so kind of like most everyone outside of first round is kind of crap. Um,
Right. And
I'm
even then,
yeah,
I feel like again, I wasn't a part of it, but I still feel like I hear people talk about some of those first rounders, second rounders with some like just horror of why did I take this guy? He was so good in college. Why is he terrible now?
yeah,
The jump just wasn't there yet, kind of thing.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
is what it is, but
yeah. But this year will be 3 seasons since the first boom bust class was drafted, and I feel like there's a lot of media possibility to start going back at the end of this year to go back to 2024, and now that you have and also stats are easier to get to with the interface, so
right, right.
um, I'm sure this off season while we're all waiting around, I'll probably have something on regrading the 2024 draft. Um, So
I'm sure we'll get some fantastically quality media as always from various sources about, you know, this old draft, this upcoming draft. We're probably gonna get like 3 more mocks from 7 different people, kind of thing, and it's gonna
I
be
hope
great.
so.
It's great.
I love
I
it.
love that part. It, all the media is fantastic. Folks have dedicated their time to it so well, and it's so impressive every time.
Yeah. I like that our cottage industry has created its own series of cottage industries. Um, because that's all hobbies are. It's just a recursive
Yeah.
loop where you know you start reacting to the reactions of the other reactors, and it just
Yeah.
um, as long as you go
Yeah.
outside and touch grass every now and again, I think it'll be fine.
I think even in like the past 2 weeks, we've had extensions in sim college football with sim money and sim money
Oh,
per year. It's
oh
like,
yeah, yeah. Could you talk about?
I would love to make actual that much money a year, but we're gonna be talking about sim money a year. It's fantastic. It's a whole new. I need to get a new agent because I'm not making anywhere near as much sim money as somebody else is, kind of thing. It's like,
And the fun part with
oh
that is that's not at all a mechanic. That's just
no,
people
it's
are
not.
paying.
It's fantastic.
I
And
do want to. I feel like I need to have that caveat. I mean, it's on a site
yeah,
called Real Fake Tweets, so I hope that helps people understand. But I do
yeah,
feel like making that caveat to anyone who might be listening, just to be sure you know, that's not a real mechanic. We are literally making this shit
no,
up as we go.
correct. That and who potentially leaves their program. It's not like no one. There's no firing mechanic or
No,
carousel mechanic. It's all organic, and people are doing it themselves,
yeah. Which
which is
I
I
will,
think a lot of fun.
yeah. I hope it stays that way. I don't want a carousel mechanic. I'm not aware of any time where multiple coaches have genuinely both wanted a role and it's become like a thing.
Hmm.
We've been small enough that that's been able to kind of just work itself out organically.
Right.
Hopefully that continues going forward. Um,
I think the movement would be fun, but yeah, we don't want to. I wouldn't want to see anybody, button heads over, let's say, an Indiana job that might open up because that's such a hot commodity, and anybody would be lucky to have such fantastic players coming up in such a fantastic program that someone spent a lot of time
hey,
building.
just saying.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
top.
clear hypothetical.
I'm just hypothetically, if there were a
Hypothetical.
program that had a top five class 2 years in a row, that might
Not
be.
named Tennessee, but hypothetically, if it were in
Hey,
Indiana.
I'm counting this year, and
Oh, yep. Okay.
um,
I was gonna say hypothetically, if it were in Indiana and had red as a primary color, and I'm like, shit, that's still Ball State.
so
But
the
the
yeah,
other side of Indiana,
the only downside is that your state is a recruiting bloodbath because right
yeah,
now the top two teams this year are Notre Dame and
Notre
Indiana.
Dame in Indiana. Yeah,
um,
and I fear that LLB is not going anywhere anytime soon. So you're not going to get an easy way out
no,
of competing with an AI or somebody else.
no,
So you're going to have to go full send against everyone else in Indiana.
yeah, I couldn't beat LLB in college, so I hired him in the pros. That's how I got
Right.
back.
That's smart. That's
I
how you do it.
made him my coach. Um, and I am gonna not that he will win, but when it comes time for Coach of the Year, I do have to mention that our team has won more games than it lost after getting rid of our QB1 and trading our wide receiver one and our top running back, who was a two-time Pro Bowler. Um, so if you
There
can
you go.
break 500 when your GM is doing shit like that, I think that deserves a call out. Um,
Yeah, we haven't NFL awards haven't come out yet, right? No sort of short
no,
list beyond. Okay, trying to
when regular
track
season
it
ends,
still.
those will come out for
Okay,
sure.
I wasn't sure if there was like a. I know there was the was it mid season hypothetical awards, but
Yeah,
no actual ones yet. Okay.
no, and those will be actual votes, not just me making up stuff for a PowerPoint slide. Uh,
Man, still a great slide.
I do what I can.
I love it. Yeah.
Whew.
Uh, man,
Well, Oh my goodness, this might be our longest podcast
My longest
episode
episode.
ever.
You
Um,
you got a long-winded guest.
that's
What can I tell you?
hey, I no offense to anyone who has come on the show, but that is much easier than the opposite. It is much easier than me trying to pull the conversation along. Um, I don't know. Did you have anything on your notepad that we didn't get to that you really want to? Because I'm not going
I-
anywhere.
I'll pick your brain on this one.
Okay.
College football playoff. Who's in, who's out?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
man.
We just gotta just straight with the hard hitting information.
Yeah, it's. And I'm a little. Okay. Who? Big 12 has been interesting. We've had a lot of real like prove it games.
Yep.
It's been interesting to watch the committee chat because a lot of it with Big 12 has been like, shut up, I did game plan. Um, sorry, my alarm
I had this
reminding me to game
you know,
plan in case
I
I
had to
haven't yet.
I had to tell myself just to stop and let it go through because if I lose with one of my best players still injured.
Hmm.
I was like we won that game in the regular season. Hopefully I don't get crucified in the committee for that. And if we win, I'll just lose to Kirby in
Yeah.
my second time. So
For for what it's worth, I'm a Miami fan. You guys have really taken on the gauntlet this year, um, and
thank you.
uh,
You got
I,
it.
I like to reward teams who play tough schedules and who play close games against good teams. Um, had had I not gotten blown out a couple more times, I would constantly be talking about my close loss to Tulsa in Week 1, because I was very proud of that for a while. um, I think it gets harder on the opposite side. When is it San Jose State that's still like undefeated?
Yes. San
Oh,
Jose State's undefeated. Um, who else is actually on the committee sheet? Let me pull up that
I am.
handy dandy
Yeah,
word table that LLB puts out every week.
that one's really tough because there's a lot of it control they don't have in terms of who they play.
Right.
Um, so again, I'm stalling and not giving clear answers because I don't know college as well as I know the pros.
I was like, I'm just curious because I'm like, I think there are going to be some really interesting and some really clear conference champions. I think it's
Hmm.
the at-larges that are going to be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I mean again I think last year had some drama with what was it Wazoo getting left out at the end
Hmm.
there with a pretty tough schedule
Yeah.
when they potentially should have been in, and we're running into the same sort of. I mean I think in the past couple weeks the top 11, I think save for Baylor Rising. I'm just taking a look at it. And I swear I'm not trying to avoid eye
No,
contact
you're good.
here. But I think the only changes have been really Baylor moved up over Tulane,
Hmm.
and I think Tulsa fell down
Okay.
beyond Florida State. The rest of that stayed basically the same 1 through 11 for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
And where there has been movement, it's been the same teams.
Hmm.
And there's a whole lot of folks knocking on the door. Like I think this week, I think Sweezy pointed it out in committee. 12 through 18 are a snake of head-to-heads. 12 beat 13, who beat 14, who beat 15, who beat 16, 17, 18.
Wow.
That's the reason it's like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's surely defensible though. I mean, what else do you?
Yeah, I mean, but it's one of those things is when you look at it, it's like, okay, 12 San Diego State, their coach is a national champion. 13's Washington State, they beat Bowling Green. 14's Bowling Green, they're Bowling Green. 15's Ball State, they're also very good. 16's North Carolina, they've really challenged themselves and have beaten Utah. 17's Virginia, 18's Cal.
Hmm.
And it's like all of those teams theoretically could be left out.
Wow.
And I'm just like, when do we get a 2014 playoff?
No. I I think
I no, I that's
I know.
facetious. We're not actually doing that, but
With the regular season as short as it is, I think 12 is good. I think what
I think 12's great.
12 is right. I think the committee is going to get it right this year. I think what's more interesting is that people have been bringing up uh, conference having 4 team conference playoffs versus just 2, and the trade off between, well, big conferences only taking 2 teams out of 16 or 18, but also what those extra games do for making it tough for the
Those
committee
teams, right?
and giving you either ammunition to move up or the opportunity to falter and lose seeding or even drop out. And how do you weigh a conference semifinal versus a regular, like, conference final you understand, but how do you rank a conference semifinal compared to like a regular season game? Do you weight it more or less? Is it giving people more opportunities to fail or more to succeed? I think
If
that,
at all.
yeah,
I know there are some folks whose camp is, pretend it doesn't exist, kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, let's figure it out. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we'll
So
see.
from a meta level, I think that is the thing I'm following most. Is there a, I don't want to say tension because I don't want to suggest that people are actively conflicted, but in terms of game
Right.
balance, the tension between committee and ranking teams with 14 versus with 12 versus 14 games, and then
Hmm.
the conferences wanting to get the best teams as their champion or give
Right.
the teams the most opportunity. Um, so I guess
I
that
think it's
that 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 brings up the question. Then I guess is who has been winning the conference championships? Has it been the top 2 seeds, or has someone moved up from 4-1 because of the semifinals?
I
Um,
don't
because I don't
think
know that anyone
that
has.
happened last year. I
But
think a two's won. I
okay,
don't think a four or a three have won. Because
because that might end up ending the experiment. Is if the threes and fours
yeah.
just lose anyway, it's like, well, then they didn't belong there. You just take the best 2 anyway.
Because who, what was it? The Mac that sent a two, I think, is the winner eventually. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure. I looked it up at some point and
But
didn't. I can't recall.
But of
But
course, on the other hand, then if you go 2, then you have the BCS problem, which is that, well,
you do. Yeah.
when you have 3 really good teams, someone just doesn't get the opportunity to play.
Right.
It
And then I think the other one is, it's like you mentioned conferences earlier. In that top, it's so crowded with some very, like, some conferences have 3, 4, 5 teams in the top, however many. Some conferences have one.
yeah
Like, so what value does that semifinal have or doesn't have when, let's say it's Penn State, who's at 2 right now, and the closest Big Ten team, I
yeah
believe, is 21 Illinois, and I think this is the reason behind that, is the Big Ten kind of cannibalizes itself as the season goes on because all the teams are very competitive,
mm-hmm.
with the exception of Penn State, who's just ungodly good in that conference. But
Right.
the rest seem to just, pile on each other in the sense of, let's say you have a big upset win against somebody. It's like, okay, I've got this really great home game against this team that is theoretically worse than me. Oh, I've lost. And that just seems to be the Big Ten cycle. Whereas, like, I think the Big 12 has 1, 2, 3 teams in the top 12 right now. And they're a little more top heavy,
Mm-hmm.
where, like, the top 6 teams are really good. And then there's just the rest.
Yeah,
Top 8, and then there's just the rest. Whereas, like, the Big Ten seems to just be a bloodbath every single week.
yeah,
So how do you remedy that? It's like, okay, well,
yeah, yeah. The tiebreakers for, it was either
oh my
3 and 4 or maybe it was 2, 3 and 4 last year. It was
gosh.
like I want to say a 5 or 6 team tie in the Big Ten. I think it was 5 or 6 teams for 2 spots for 3 and 4.
That's disgusting.
Um, and then if they go and they lose to 1 and 2 anyway, it's like, why do we bother with
Why
all
do we do the
that?
math? Yeah.
Why do we put
Why do we do all that
subsequent
math?
through that
Oh
just for them to
gosh.
lose? So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't have the answer. Um,
Okay.
but that's one of the reasons that I like that our community is run by people, ultimately not formulas, and small
Right.
enough that people don't feel lost in the shuffle. You know, um,
Hmm.
I like that people are talking about this, saying, "Well, here's what I think about this. How do we want the league to go? How do we want the balance to
Hmm.
work?" Um, I like that it's flexible and that the people who play the game are the people who run the game are the people who are making the decisions and listening and moving things around as need be. Because as the 4 seed in the Big Ten, I've loved getting to say that I made the conference semifinal, even though we got
Mm-hmm.
walloped by Wisconsin last year, and we're probably going to get walloped by Penn State this year. Hang the participation banner. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll take it as long as
Yeah.
it's available to me.
I think
Um,
we were the 4 last year and lost on that sort of Seahawks Super Bowl esque. We threw at the 2
oh gosh.
and got picked off. I think we lost by 1 eventually with
That's
like
rough.
a minute left or something like that. And I was like, oh great. I'd honestly rather get blown out at that rate by Kirby again. I'm like, I'd rather get blown out by Kirby for the umpteenth time than lose a heartbreaker like that and then get drawn age away and that stupid triple-headed monster option offense that's
Mm.
just impossible. And I'm like, okay, great. Well, hey ho. Anyway, but yeah, I'm really interested to see how this one pans out just generally because it seems like there's a lot of teams that could be in where inevitably good teams are going to be left out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a matter of how that decision's made. That's going to be really interesting to me.
Yeah. But I think 12 gives you just enough opportunity to
Oh
give
yeah,
some teams a way to play the way up and just enough advantage where if you can rise above it from the very beginning, you've got an easier road. Um, so.
yeah,
um,
100%. I'm taking a look at the team, like the 12 that I have listed, and I'm like, I could see some interesting permutations coming out of these.
yeah.
I'm like, be good.
A lot of football still left to be played somehow.
Oh yeah, so much. So and don't forget the FCS has all of
Oh,
their stuff going on now that we can watch and just watch those folks
of course.
crunch it out. Yeah, I still want to see another Idaho Bowl, but alas, that is not happening in the Big Sky. Neither of them are playing.
Not this year.
Oh well, next year.
Always next year.
Next
Always,
next year.
always
Always
better
next year.
next year. The sim, the team, better next year.
Everybody. So I have to keep telling myself for the inevitable
Oh
blowout
yeah.
loss.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show. It's been a lot of fun to talk.
No,
Um,
appreciate being here. Thanks for
come
having me.
come back anytime.
Hopefully, folks are not tired of hearing us rattle on for probably too long, but hey, they can skip around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do whatever
yeah,
you want. We're good for a morning commute or a slow work day. Just
yeah.
some
Friday's
dulcet
coming up.
tones
Listen
while
to
you
us
work through
then.
your work
Yeah.
spreadsheet before you get to go home for your fun spreadsheet. Um,
Oh, art transcends life, transcends art. Anyway, it's been a fantastic time. Been a
Thank you so
pleasure.
much for coming on.
No, thanks for
Um,
having me again.
to everyone who has made it through this hour and 40 minutes, hour and 30 minutes, whatever this ends up being, appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next time.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.